here we are. How are you doing today? Had lunch? So we will talk today about the most exciting thing happening here, the food tech. We have 3 panelists today who would tell us about how the market would change soon and how each of us would eat 5 and 10 years from now. I'm Galina. I'm a partner at RTP Global. It's a venture capital fund investing across India, Europe, and US. And we first realized the true potential of food tech when we invested in Liver Health in 2011. We were one of the first investors in this space. And ever since, we've witnessed how the industry changed. So actually, we didn't have a pure vision how this would evolve till 2015, when we luckily invested in one of the largest cloud kitchen companies in the world. It's out of India, so it's not here today, but it's called Rebel Foods, and they've built 1,000 cloud kitchen restaurants, serving 1.5 million orders per month, and growing like 100% year over year. So that was an eye-opening moment for us. So we actually started to build a vision of how the whole industry would evolve. And we were initially thinking of a very sad future for all of us, sitting in shared apartments, playing digital sport, dating Tinder, talking messengers, and someone should deliver the food inside our cubicles. But ultimately, when we witnessed the growth of the space, we realized that food tech is actually about something very different. It gives us freedom from cooking in front of the stove for 10 hours per week, which we can now devote to something very different. Now you can order the food which looks nice, cost, as, you know, a portion of the cost of high-end dining restaurant, and it tastes good. So this is what about the food tech actually is. And I'll let our panelists today to talk about that a little bit. The first one would be Dmitriy. He is from Yandex. He would tell us how Yandex food is changing this world in Russia.
Could you tell me, please?
Oh, you need this.
Okay.
Here we are.
Yes. Wait a second, please. Yeah. Yandex in a glance. Yandex started as a search company more than 20 years ago. And today, Yandex operates more than 30 different services in 15 countries, including Russia, of course, former Soviet republics, and some other countries. And about 1.5 years ago, Yandex ventured into the food tech business, and I would like to introduce our food ecosystem. Yandex Search answers over 100 million questions about recipes every month. Millions of Maps users help each other to make the right choice of the restaurant or cafe with their marks and reviews. Millions of people find discounts through our app called Eat a Deal. Recently, we launched a meal kit service called Yandex Chef, and today it is over 300,000 dinners every month. Yandex Eats, we started the service a little more than a year ago. Now delivers millions of orders from thousands of restaurants. But what is in the most of the orders, and what do Russians eat at home every day? It's a very different picture, as you can see.
I see people are smiling. You know what borscht is? It's a very famous Russian soup.
Yeah, I can be back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should tell about that.
Borscht, chops, cart frites. This is #1 breakfast in Russia. And Caesar, for my surprise. I don't know why.
Yes.
Italy is still strong. The world has learned how to fry burgers so that they are consistently delicious and widely affordable. Unfortunately, it cannot be said about cart fritters or borscht. They are either too expensive or they taste is unpredictable, I would say. But we found the solution. This is the next few slides is about new service. The recipe of our new service is simple. We take the favorite dishes of our Yandex search users. We prepare special ingredients, ingredient kits for selected dishes. It's very close to meal kits. We distribute those kits to our restaurant partners, partner restaurants. And it's important to say that each kit is designed to be cooked in approximately 3 minutes. All the dishes are being ordered through our delivery app Yandex Eats, or websites in the Yandex Eats, and Yandex Eats couriers deliver them. Altogether, Yandex Cloud Restaurant virtual chain, delivery of the most popular in Russia dishes for no more than 250 rubles per dish. It's approximately $4. And this cloud chain will be available this summer in Yandex Eats app and website. Thank you.
Cool. So now we have Dimi. He's a co-founder of our beloved portfolio company, Keatz. It's a cloud kitchen restaurant chain serving across Germany and Spain. Maybe you've already tried some food, you just didn't know it's coming from the guys. So Dimi, please tell us your story.
Yeah, great. So I'm going to play a little video as an introduction to what we do. So this was a little introduction of Keatz. We are a multi-brand, multi-location ghost restaurant players. We build made-for-delivery food brands that are essentially sold through delivery services like Deliveroo or Globo or Uber Eats internationally. We have 6 brands that you saw earlier. We have 9 locations at the moment, 54 restaurant units in total. And we are looking to grow this to more than 1,000 restaurants in the next 3 years. And I can only agree with what Galina and also Dmitriy have been alluding to, that consumer habits are drastically changing. And we see actually that the cost of a professionally prepared and delivered meal is approaching the cost of cooking at home. And this is not even factoring in the time that it takes you to do groceries or the time that it takes you to do cooking. And essentially, you have a whole new type of consumer entering into this market. You have Generation Z, Generation Y, so asset-light, time-starved, convenience-hungry consumers that do not want to spend a lot of money on cooking appliances. They do not want to spend any more time on cooking. They want the convenience that they grew up with of having every wish fulfilled by the click of a button. And this is essentially what is propelling this market forward. So the delivery market is growing substantially. you could think now this is actually great news for the restaurant industry, but we actually believe that the opposite is true, because the restaurant industry today is not suited to cater to this demand, and there are a few key reasons for that, and key factors of how we think that ghost restaurants will disrupt this space. So first of all, we see that the economics of food delivery are not working for your traditional mom and pop restaurant. A normal restaurant has a 30-30-30 unit economic breakdown. They pay around 30% for food, 30% labor, and 30% general overhead and rent. This leaves them within about 10% EBITDA if they're good. So this already shows that it's very tough for them to pay 30% to Uber Eats or Deliveroo for any delivery services. So that can only work if they're heavily underutilized in their labor force, so the incremental revenue doesn't cost them too much. So that's very difficult for them to compete there, and it's not a very, very scalable business. And then on the other hand, they are not made for delivery. All of their meals are made to be eaten in-house and enjoyed in-house. And if you send a meal that is meant to be enjoyed in-house on a 20-minute bike ride through the city, it usually does not arrive in the condition that it should. So ghost restaurants like Keatz can provide solutions to this economic problem, because we do not have a front of the house staff. So we have substantially lower labor unit economics, and we have a better value proposition towards consumers, because we have menus that are made for delivery, with packaging that is made for delivery, and with processes in our kitchens that are made for delivery, and that ensure that customers essentially have the best possible food in the shortest time. And then the last big thing that we see as challenging for restaurants, and that ghost restaurants can do a lot better, is that the cost of innovation for traditional restaurants is very high, and that's just a complex way of saying it's very costly and thus risky for them to build new concepts. It's very capital intensive. And in comparison, ghost restaurants, so like Keatz, our recent brand Tamaka, we have launched it from idea to launch in less than 1 month. The total cost involved with this launch were less than 20,000 euros. So that shows that we can be a lot less risk averse. We can try out many more brands until we find what fits, and thus we can essentially hunt trends a lot more efficient and be something like a fast fashion, but for food. So all in all, we believe this will be a superior value proposition towards consumers, and will be disrupting grocery, but also the restaurant space. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dimi. And now I think we'll witness the true future. How would the restaurant look like, I don't know, 10 years from now, or maybe even tomorrow already? So Alexandre from PAZZI would show us the stellar robotic PAZZI concept, which is actually going live when?
We're going to open to the public like next week, but it's going to be a soft launch, but like the official one is going to be in September.
So you'll have a sneak peek in what would happen next week. So please.
I'm going to launch a video too.
C'est pas seulement un robot capable de faire des pizzas, c'est un restaurant entièrement digitalisé.
On le voit travailler, c'est impressionnant. Il étale, il garde, il cuit, il fait tout.
On voulait cette notion de transparence et de show cooking.
C'était un projet absolument dingue.
C'était pas une pizza faite de pâtes en caoutchouc avec des ingrédients de je sais pas où. C'est du produit bio, de la pêche durable, du clean label.
Quand on en arrive à la dégustation, et les gens ne laissent même pas un morceau de pâte.
On voit la préparation de A à Z de sa commande. Tout le monde peut s'amuser à le personnaliser et à faire vraiment ce qu'il aime.
On peut changer la recette comme on veut.
C'est-à-dire que le robot devient un exécutant, si tu veux, de l'imagination de nos clients. On est capable aujourd'hui de produire une pizza toutes les 30 secondes en respectant le produit.
On veut amener finalement une robotique qui va être synonyme d'un bien manger, une meilleure alimentation.
Ce qu'on aime à dire, c'est qu'on fait du tech good food.
So as you understand it, we're like a French startup, and we created the first autonomous restaurant. That's what is crazy, actually. So it's going to run like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is able to cook a pizza every 30 seconds. And we've, as we said it in the video, with high quality ingredients. So yes, part of the future is maybe here.
Awesome. And who are you thinking, like, who are you aiming to kill? Would Domino's survive in this new era? What is the key vision for the future?
We like to think, I think, to reassure ourselves that we're not like category killers, but like category like transformers. We think the whole like industry is changing. I think everybody is like saying that like it's the end of an era, it's the end of like a period of time where the restaurant business has like to evolve. And so I think we're not gonna kill, we're gonna transform things, but we have like, that's what we were saying like earlier. It's reasonable like to guess what's gonna be the future, but it's reasonable to know that we don't know actually what's gonna happen, but to be prepared for it. And so we think that like, I personally think that the restaurant business is showing that like a huge segmentation is on the run, and you're gonna have people like preparing the food, you're gonna have people like delivering between the different actors of the experience, and you're gonna have people like giving an experience, a food experience. And I think if you want to succeed in the restaurant business in the future, if you want like cross the borders between like those segmentations, you're gonna have to put some automation in it.
Okay, cool. So the future is coming. Here we are.
Well, the future.
The future of food. I actually think that the next big thing would be a shift between how we shop online for grocery, how we eat, and the reason why we order would also change. If today we are thinking that it is killing certain restaurant consumption, but actually we would stop going for grocery, we would stop cooking on a daily basis our everyday meals. We would just move this consumption towards the online food, while still keeping dining out, either in robotic restaurant or in some other good places, but the market would definitely change.
Thank you so much. Well, we learned earlier that apparently there's not A or B. There's a mix of cooking yourself, getting food delivered, meal kits, and so on. So the world is complicated, like mobility. Eating will be very dynamic and optional. Thank you so much. I hope you like our food here.
It's actually, by the way, very nice.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.